Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Joy of Pixels podcast for Friday, March 13th. I hope you're doing all well. Hello, French. Hello, Brian. Hello, Koala. Nice to see you all here today. I am doing a solo podcast today. Give you guys just a little bit of an update with Squash. He and I were discussing this and talking about this, and we think that it's probably going to be the best case to have him on more as an occasional guest when he can, because he has a lot of stuff going on in his life and, just a lot of things going on. So for the time being, it's probably going to be just me. I want to try and do my best to possibly get some more guests on. Maybe even have some more permanent guests and kind of have a rotation that I go through. But there's a lot to look into with that and a lot to do with that. So just keep an update out for where I'm going with that. And I'll do my best to improve things for you guys. But we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. I'll go ahead and just kind of jump into the games I've been playing, which hasn't been a whole lot this week. Mainly, I have just been playing, as many of you already know, Horizon Zero Dawn, which we will have a lot more to discuss about that later. But for right now, yeah, I'm still playing that, still loving that. This is my second playthrough, and I am probably enjoying it even more. Just because when I first played it, or when I played it the first time, I was just kind of going through it and, didn't really know what I was getting into. But this time, I'm just really immersing myself in the game, and it's really, really fantastic, and I am absolutely loving it. We just started the DLC, and we're making some good progress in there. I'm pretty sure we should finish it up next week. I thought I could finish it up this week, but scheduling got a bit rough, so I decided to just put it off for next week. And I'm excited to get back to it. Other than that, I haven't really been playing a whole lot. I played just a little bit of Dead Cells. Still been playing a good amount of that, and still really, really addicted to that game. Although I feel like I have really hit a wall in that game with 2 boss cells. I got through the base game pretty easily, got through with 1 boss cell pretty easy, and 2 boss cells is kind of insane. French says he just ate some ice cream. That sounds good, French. What flavor? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? I think I just like, I don't know, really good vanilla ice cream is really good and hard to beat. If it has to be really good vanilla though. Also strawberry. Strawberry might be my favorite. Not a big fan of chocolate. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, what else have I played? I played a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of Call of Duty Warzone, which we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but that is the new Battle Royale version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare that dropped this week. Everybody was, or they were trying to make it like it was a big surprise or something, but everybody knew it was going to come out. There were so many leaks, and they even had like a giant classified thing right in the middle of the menu screen when you launch into the game, so everybody was pretty sure that was going to be dropping. But yeah, I have only really played just kind of the very first tutorial in that game. I haven't even gotten into an actual match. I'm not really the biggest Battle Royale fan. I think it's fun, but I'm not very good at it. So that just kind of makes me not enjoy it very much. I think it could be fun if you had a group of friends to play it with, though. But I don't know how enjoyable those games really are if you're playing solo and you're not very good at them. But I do look forward to checking it out. I'm going to definitely check it out this week, or this coming week, and let you guys know what I think. So yeah, that's pretty much everything I've been playing. I wanted to talk about a few games that released because we finally have some games that are coming out. 2020 has been a very dry year as in terms of video game releases, and so we finally have some games to talk about. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX. These names came out. I believe it was last Friday. This, I believe, I'm not by any means a Pokemon expert, but I believe this is a remaster of a pretty old Game Boy game, or not Game Boy, GameCube. I think I could be wrong. Um, and yeah, they ported it to the Switch, or I guess remastered it for the Switch. It is a kind of a roguelite, I believe, set in the Pokemon universe. It seems like it's kind of getting mixed reviews. I've heard some good things, some really good things, some really bad things. Some people have mentioned that the combat is not great and the just gameplay is very boring, but some people have said that the story is quite interesting. So I don't know. There is a free demo available on the Switch, so I think I've actually downloaded it. I might try and check it out and see how it goes. Other than that, Neo 2 released today, and Neo 2 actually seems to be getting quite good reviews, which I'm really glad to hear. Neo 1 came out 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. And it came out in a pretty good time. It came out in early, I think it was like February. And for me, at least, it was a time when I was just like craving Souls type games. And it mixed up the formula a little bit. So it, still has your basic Souls type combat where you have stamina and you have a heavy and a light attack. You have different weapons, different classes, different stats that you can allocate to increase, or different points that you can allocate to your stats to increase one stat over the other. But it kind of mixed up the formula a little bit in that it randomized the loot. So it's kind of like a mix between a Dark Souls and a Diablo type game. And I think it's interesting how it does that. I think it could be done a little bit better. I think that Neo 1 had some problems with just overwhelming you with too many systems, because not only did you have like your base level stats, but then you also had like levels for each weapon, and then each weapon had like I can't remember what they called it, but each weapon you had like a proficiency that you could get with that weapon, and the more you use that specific weapon, the more damage it would do. And then on top of that, you had like all these ninjutsu and like all these Japanese names that I can't remember. But it was like additional stats that you could level up. There was like an additional skill tree on top of just like your normal stats. It was very, very convoluted. You also had like a high stance, a medium stance, and a low stance for every single weapon. I'm pretty sure that all of that stuff is still there in Neo 2, which I was a little disappointed about. I'm not positive about that because I haven't played the game, but I did play the beta last year, or maybe it was even the alpha, and it looks like all of that stuff was still in there. So that's a little disappointing to me. I really had hoped that they would have kind of cleaned all of that up a little bit. I just don't really feel like it was necessary to have all of those different systems. I personally would just prefer to have more like a stat sheet of strength and stamina and health and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's doing pretty well. It's sitting at an 86 on Metacritic, which is pretty high, especially for those types of games. It is a PS4 exclusive right now. It's a timed exclusive. I believe it's 1 year. It could be 6 months. I'm not sure, but we will be getting that on at least PC. I'm not sure if that'll be coming out on Xbox at any point. Another good thing about the Neo games is on the PS4 at least, which I think they even do this in the PC version, but you can choose to have 60 frames a second, basically. So there's a few different modes. There's an action mode, which lowers the resolution, lowers the graphical fidelity a little bit to ensure that you always hit 60 FPS. And then if you have a PS4 Pro, you can bump it up to, I think they call it movie mode. It's a little confusing, but it locks the frame rate to 30 FPS and gives you higher graphical fidelity and up to 4K. Of course, on the PS4, that's checkerboarded 4K. I don't believe it's true 4K, but that's a whole nother discussion we could get into. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It's not the best looking game in the world, but I think the most important thing is that you can, even on the base PS4, you can get it to run at 60 FPS. It's not going to look the prettiest, but I really like that Team Ninja, they're the developers of Neo 2, offer that option, and I really hope that that's something the next generation of consoles will allow us to do, is choose between, a mode that locks the frame rate to 30 FPS and gives you all the fancy graphical fidelity that you want, but then also gives you an option to, sacrifice a little bit of the graphics to get a higher frame rate. Because I personally don't care too much about having a constant 60 FPS like some people do, but in some of these games, I do think it makes quite a bit of difference. And once you go from just feeling what 60 FPS in a game like this is to 30 FPS, it really makes a big difference. Hi, Flaming. Welcome in. We're doing our podcast today. I will answer questions like that. I'll try and answer those questions at the end of the podcast, so keep those questions in mind. Let's see. Moving on. That was Neo 2 that we talked about. Ori and the Will of the Wisps came out on Wednesday, which is a very weird release date. But yeah, that came out, and that seems to be getting pretty good reviews as well. The first Ori was pretty well received, and Ori 2 was highly anticipated, and it seems like it is living up to people's expectations, which is really good. I always wanted to play Ori, but I just could never get into it. I tried playing the first one, and man, that game is depressing. It starts out so incredibly sad. It's a beautiful game, though. It's kind of a 2D side-scroller Metroidvania with some Metroidvania elements to it. It's very difficult. You're going to die a lot in that game, but it's kind of by design. So yeah, Ori and the Will of the Wisps was the sequel to that, and very highly anticipated. And I believe it was delayed a couple of times, like every other video game out there. But it finally came out and is doing quite well. I have heard, at least on the console, the Xbox, that people have been having some performance issues, which is kind of weird for, like a 2D side-scroller type game. But it is a very, very beautiful game. So it does have some very high graphical fidelity and assets and things like that. But yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It is available on Game Pass as well. So I will probably at least try it out. But I'm not really into those types of games. Sometimes I can get into those games. I really liked Hollow Knight. I had a really great time with that. And I want to get into Ori because it's so beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Let's see. We can run through a couple of other games that are coming out in the near future. Those were the main ones that came out last week. Neo 2, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But there are a couple of other really big games coming out next week. Well, they're coming out next Friday. But we have Doom Eternal, which I am personally very excited for. This was originally slated for November of last year, and I was very, very disappointed when it got delayed because I was so excited to play through it. I played through Doom 2016 for, I think, the third time back in October, or maybe it was even November. No, it was in October because it was before it got delayed. So I was playing that, in anticipation for the sequel. So I was so sad when it got delayed. But it is finally coming out March 20th, as well as a very different game. Animal Crossing is coming out for the Switch. And I know some people are huge Animal Crossing fans. I am really interested to try it out. I've never played. Well, that's not true. I did play a tiny bit of. I think it was called New Leaf on the 3DS, and that was just right when I got a 3DS, and I just wanted games to play, and everybody said, "Oh, Animal Crossing is great," and I didn't know anything about Animal Crossing, and I think that this is a game that you really need to kind of know what you're getting into before you jump into it. So if anybody doesn't know, this is a kind of a simulation type game, kind of like a Stardew Valley or something like that. And you are you're not you are meant to play this like every day or just like every few days. And you really only play this for like an hour at a time, because the main thing in this game is that time passes in real time. So in this game, if you're playing at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day, it is 12 o'clock in the middle of the game. If you're playing at 1 a.m., it's 1 a.m. in the game. So, and like there's shops in the game, and they actually close down, at a certain time. If it also plays in real time with the seasons. So like we're about to go into spring, and it's actually going to be spring in Animal Crossing. So I think that that's interesting, but I think it's just something to keep in mind if you're going to get into that game. French says it's more like Nintendogs than Stardew Valley. Okay, my bad. I was under the impression that Stardew was similar to Animal Crossing, but that's what I get for talking about games that I have not played before. You got to log in every day to take care of your town. Once you're done, there's not much to do. Yeah, so it's not going to be a game that you'll want to, buy if you are looking for a game to like play more than a few hours a day. Or if you just want to like binge through a game or something like that. This is a game that is really made to be a slow burn and to really kind of extend its life. Looks like a kid's game from the Pix. Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of kids that actually play this. I'm sure there are kids that play it, but I feel like a lot of adults actually play this, or maybe young adults. Let's see. Brian says it's due to Stardew being single player and Nintendogs being more multiplayer and continuous iteration of environments. French says he played as a kid. I think it's great for kids. Yeah, it seems like it would be a great game for kids, but it seems like all I hear about, and maybe it's because I just listen to a lot of podcasts, but it seems like everyone is really excited about Animal Crossing. And I am excited, or I don't know, excited is not really the right word. I'm really interested in it because it has some neat multiplayer components to it. I think you can like visit other people's towns, and I think that could be really fun to get into a game like that. It could be a fun game to just get into, like if you want to just mess around for an hour each night or something like that. Although again, I I don't really know how this works. And maybe somebody in chat can explain this to me. But if I play this game, every night at 11 p.m., that's going to be hard to do, right? Because all of the stuff is closed, like the towns are closed or the shops are closed. So I don't really know how that works. I think it's an interesting concept, though. That's a good point. Brian says the people who played Animal Crossing 1 would be 30 to 40 years old now. Came out in 2001, yeah. French says you can set the clock on your device to cheat. Well, that takes the fun out of it, but I guess you could do that. Although, does it not require an internet connection? It seems like they would probably require an internet connection since it's multiplayer, and then they would check with a universal clock. Let's see. Moving on. So we'll move into some news. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week. Speaking of Horizon Zero Dawn, that is officially coming out on PC now. There's a Steam page up for it. This was rumored for quite a while. A couple of months ago, there were a lot of leaks talking about this possibly happening. Even all the way back to when Death Stranding was rumored to be using the Decima engine, which is the Horizon Zero Dawn engine. There were some people saying, well, Death Stranding is coming out on PC. Does that mean that there's a chance that Horizon could come out? And sure enough, it is. So there's a Steam page up for it. There is a release date of summer 2020. So they don't have a specific date, but summer 2020, Horizon Zero Dawn will be coming to PC. I think that's really, really, really interesting news and really exciting news for PC players. I don't think that we are going to just all of a sudden see, day and date PS or PlayStation releases coming to PC. I think that's extremely unlikely, so don't get your hopes up for that. I do think it's possible, though, that Sony could, start looking at porting some of their games to PC, especially if they're a few years old. I don't see any reason to keep those on PlayStation. If anything, for me at least, this would be the perfect time for them to announce the sequel to Horizon, that it's a PS5 exclusive, and then put Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. PC players are going to see how amazing this game is, and they're going to say, oh man, now I really want to play the sequel. And how do I play the sequel? You buy a PS5. So I think that could be a really interesting strategy. I could see them doing that for God of War. God of War 2-2, whatever they're going to call it. I hate when they drop the numbers on these games. But anyway, the sequel to God of War 2018, whenever that comes out, I could see them putting God of War 2018 on PC. That would be a fantastic sales pitch for buying a PlayStation. And I do find it interesting that they are putting this on Steam. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm very excited for that. But I could definitely see Sony coming out with their own launcher to avoid the 30% cut that Steam will be taking from this. Although we don't know, I would imagine that that Valve, is talking to Sony and say, hey, we'll give you a better cut for putting your games on our launcher. That's probably happening. Nobody's really talking about that, but I would definitely think that is happening. We do know that Steam has certain deals with bigger publishers. If they sell a certain number of games, then they get a better cut of the profits. So I would certainly think that that's something that is happening behind the scenes with Sony. Let's see. Hi, Mr. Lee. How are you? Uh, so that's a good question slash point that you're bringing up, Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee says, why is everything porting to PC? There's no reason to own a console now. Even legendary console game Halo series has been completely ported to PC. Well, I would remind you that Halo 1 and 2 were on the PC. There was a very strange period in the early 2000s. PC gaming, what I think, was at a very good spot. Yes, it was very niche, but there were a lot of PC games that were really, really good. And then consoles really, really hurt PC gaming, in my opinion. There was a period from about 2005 to like a little after 2010 when PC gamers just got really, really hurt because most of the games were all being built for consoles. They were all being built for the PS3 and the Xbox 360. There were very few games that were being specifically built for PC. And even the games that did come out on PC were mostly just ports that were very poorly ported. Everything, you just could kind of tell things were being consoleized, so to speak. The controls did not feel good using a mouse and keyboard. That has recently changed. I think in the past 5 years or so, PC gaming has really, really gotten into a good spot. And I'm really, really thankful for that. That doesn't mean that there's not a place for consoles. PC gaming is a rather expensive hobby. And to get a decent computer, you need to spend around $1,000 to build a decent computer with a high-end graphics card and a decent processor and enough RAM and everything like that. So for people that can go out and spend $500, $300, $400, maybe even $200 for some of these like base level consoles and play some really great games, I think that's a really great option. Now, going back to, why is there any reason to own a console? Well, I don't think, like I was saying, it's highly unlikely that it's almost zero chance that Horizon Zero Dawn 2, God of War sequel to 2018, Ghost of Tsushima, all of these PlayStation exclusives are going to be coming out day and date on PC. That is just not going to happen because, like you said, there would be no reason to have a PS5 then. But I do think it's excellent marketing to start putting some of these older games on PC. And then, if people want to wait 3 years, that's fine. They probably were not going to buy a console in the first place. But like me, I don't want to wait 3 years, so I will be buying a PS5 when it comes out so that I can play Horizon and so that I can play the God of War sequel and all of the other great, probably unannounced PlayStation exclusives. Now, let's move on to Xbox because I do think that's an interesting question because all of Xbox exclusives are coming to PC day and date. So I don't see any reason to own an Xbox unless, you just don't have a lot of money and you like the Xbox universe and that ecosystem. And, I think that's fine. If you want to spend a couple of $300, get an Xbox. The only thing is you're going to be missing out on all of the PlayStation exclusives. Personally, I think the best combo you can get is a PC and a PS4 and a Switch, if you can afford that. But there's a lot of people that cannot afford this. That's that's a lot of money, and some people just can't afford to buy all of that. Let's see. Let me catch up on chat. Brian is saying because consoles are slowly becoming self-contained PCs. That's very much true, especially with this current gen of consoles and the new generation. They are essentially computers. They have PC architecture, so yeah, they are basically that. French says, that he agrees, but it's Microsoft's fault for not making their console. Microsoft's and Sony's fault for not making their consoles unique like Nintendo. I don't know. I can't really disagree, but I don't like the gimmicks that Nintendo has. I would much prefer Nintendo to just put out a, PlayStation-like console, a powerful console that can run games at a higher frame rate and higher resolution. It kills me that there's games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which could look so beautiful and run so beautiful, but that game just runs so terribly. It drops down to 540p. This is 2020, guys. And we can't even get 720p games on the Nintendo. I love the Nintendo games. Don't get me wrong. I love the Switch. I'm very thankful to have it. But I would love to have a powerful, not even a powerful, but just like a powerful enough console to run these games at least 720p. I mean, the 360, I don't know, how many years old is that? Came out in what, 2006? It's like almost 15 years old. Could run games at 720p. And I'm picking on the Switch a little bit. Yes, there are some beautiful looking games. I mean, look, Super Mario Odyssey I think is beautiful, and that game runs at 1080p and 60 frames a second. So they can do it, but it's much more difficult because they are very limited with the architecture. Let's see, catching up on chats. Sony might strike a deal with Blizzard, BattleNet, like how Activision did with Call of Duty. I think that I don't know if you were here when I was talking about this, Mr. Lee, but I think that they probably have already gotten a deal with Valve, because I just can't imagine Sony would put their game on Steam and just take a 30% hit like that. So I imagine there must have been some backdoor talks about that. Brian says there are reasons to port console games to PC, and for some, it's the reason they don't release many of them on PC at the same time. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Halo Combat Evolved demo still has a player base on PC. Do you mean like the original Halo? Like the 2001? That's impressive. I didn't mention that, but Halo Combat Evolved in the Master Chief Collection was released for PC now. Let's see. Brian says Microsoft basically paid Bungie to not release the game on PC and release it on Xbox instead. And eventually it came full circle. Yeah. $1,000 for decent, $1,000 for a good computer. Yeah, I mean, you can get a game. You can build a gaming PC for probably $500 or $600 that will play most games on maybe like low settings. But if you want to keep up with this, and if you want to future-proof yourself for at least the next 3 to 4 years, I think you need to spend around $1,000 at least. Mr. Lee says, I'm mainly talking about Halo Reach. I bought an Xbox One to play Halo Reach, and then soon later, Halo Reach got ported to PC. They couldn't do it before because of company issues, so now there's no point for me to own an Xbox One, because literally every Xbox game is co-released on PC. Exactly, yeah. I completely understand where you're coming from that, and yeah, like I said, I can't see any reason for me to buy an Xbox, because I am fortunate enough to have a powerful computer that can run all of the games, and so there's literally no reason for me to buy an Xbox. Brian says the Xbox One is at the end of its lifespan, though. There already is reasons it's becoming obsolete. Well, I think Xbox this generation, is clear that Sony won this generation, and Xbox or Microsoft is working. I think they're working really hard to change that. I don't know if they can do it though. I don't know if they have enough. I mean, they have bought many developers and companies to make games, but so far I'm just not seeing anything that is really that impressive. I mean, the next Halo game, we don't know anything about it really. I want to believe it's going to be really good, but I feel like it's just going to be rather generic. It's going to kind of feel like the other Halo games. They really need to do, they really need their Horizon. They really need their God of War 2018. They need their Spider-Man. They need their Ghost of Tsushima, their Last of Us. I mean, you could just go on and on. Uncharted. Um, I don't know. They have some great franchises, but they need to take a risk and they need to come out with something original. And I hope that they do. I really hope that they do. But it seems like every time they've tried, it just has blown up in their face. Like we had Scalebound. I don't know. Scalebound could have ended up terribly. But that seemed like that was going to be, a really good thing for them. And then that was canceled. There were some other ones that I'm sure that I'm not thinking about. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what's coming up. Prince says, you bought a Switch from the money you saved not buying a PS4. You consider the Switch a portable console, so you don't mind the graphics. Yeah, I mean, it's personal preference. If the PlayStation exclusives don't interest you, then that's great. Buy a Switch. If the Switch exclusives don't interest you, then don't buy a Switch. Personally, everything interests me, so I want everything. And I'm fortunate in that I can do that. Mr. Lee, I wonder how they're going to sell Xbox 2 or whatever it's called. The Xbox Series X. Terrible name. But yeah, that is the new name for the next console. Hi, Nick Fizzle. Welcome in. French, you like the PS4 exclusives, but they all came to PC. I don't really get that. What do you mean? There's a lot of PlayStation exclusives that are not on PC. Are you saying you think that they will come to PC? Nick, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, Nick. Will I give a free PS4? Mr. Lee, I won't, but I wish I could. I would love to be able to do giveaways or just have enough money to do that, but unfortunately I don't. Times are pretty tough. And I can't even afford to buy some of the newer games right now, so yeah, I can't give away a PS4. I wish I could though. Franchises like I don't even know what that first one is, Yakuza and Metal Gear Solid porting to PC. Well, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 is on PC, but 4 is not. 3 is not. 2 is 2. I think 2 maybe, and 1 maybe. But yeah, like I said, it's a personal preference thing. I can't ever see a time. Well, never say never, but I can't see a time in the near future, or even like 10 years from now, when Sony is releasing every single one of their exclusives on PC at the same time. You already had 1 through 4, but 5 was definitely a system seller for me at that time. Oh, so you had a PS3 then, I'm assuming. You don't like The Last of Us? The Last of Us is definitely not for everyone. PS4 and 3 had amazing exclusives. They did, yeah. You don't care for it, you should say. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Okay, let's move on. So yeah, that was Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PC. Very excited about that. There was some news from GamesRadar.com. The headline says a new Witcher game will be developed immediately after Cyberpunk 27 is released. So this was rumored for quite a while. CD Projekt Red has always said that they are not finished with The Witcher. They are most likely finished with Geralt's story. That was pretty well wrapped up in the third game. And I'm sure this is extremely early in development. I mean, they probably just have like stuff scribbled down on a piece of paper. But I think it's worth noting at least that they probably their next game will be another Witcher game. I think it's interesting to speculate on what they could do. There's a lot of people saying that they would like a story about Ciri. There's a lot of people saying that they would like a story about Vesemir. I think Vesemir would be really cool. Maybe like an early years of Vesemir. They have a really interesting universe, and I think that there's a lot that they could do there. And The Witcher is obviously not waning in popularity. If anything, it's just becoming more and more popular because of the show. So I think that that's pretty cool. There's also other Witcher schools. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of Witcher schools. And I mean, really, when Geralt's story takes place, it's kind of like the end of the Witchers. So, it could be really cool to go back 100 years or so in that universe and see what's going on. Happy birthday, Nick Fizzle. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy Friday the 13th birthday. That's kind of a cool day to have a birthday on. Thank you for stopping by, man. Let's see. We talked a little bit about Call of Duty Warzone. I mentioned that I played just a little tiny bit of that. I don't have a whole lot more to say about it, right now at least, but hopefully next week I will have more to say. It's Battle Royale. It's Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure if you're gonna like this game or not. I don't know if I did mention, but it is completely free to play. So that is nice. If you kind of wanted to get into Call of Duty, but maybe you just couldn't afford it, this is an option that you can jump in, play for free. There are no loot boxes or anything. There is a game pass. Sorry, not a game pass, a battle pass. Is that what they call them? Which is $10. It's usually once every 2 months, it seems like. And you can also earn all of the currency in the battle pass to buy the next battle pass. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good way to go about these things. We can't really get away from these monetization ideas and ways of doing things. I think that this is way better than having loot boxes. And as long as it's balanced well and it doesn't give anyone an advantage, or nobody can just buy more powerful weapons or things like that, then I think that that's a pretty good way of doing things. And yeah, the only other thing I'll say is this year's Call of Duty has just been an absolute joy to play. I know Call of Duty is, some people hate it, some people love it. I personally have always loved it. I grew up playing every single Call of Duty. I played every single one. I typically only play them for the single player campaign, so I have a very different view on them than other people, because most people play these for the multiplayer aspect. But this one, I really have gotten a lot of enjoyment out of the multiplayer. They have a lot of different modes. It's fully cross-play. Like I've said before, that's one thing that I really, really hope that next gen brings us, is true crossplay on everything. There's no reason not to do it. We have the technology. They just need to do it, because it is wonderful to be able to play with PS4 players, Xbox players. PS4 players can play with mouse and keyboard. PC players can play with a PS4 controller, an Xbox controller, and it shows you exactly who you're playing with, if they're playing with a mouse and keyboard, if they're playing with a controller. You can adjust all of the options. If you're on PS4 and you don't want crossplay, you feel like we're going to have some advantage, which I can tell you I do not, then you can turn that off. But I think it's just fantastic to have the option. And I really, really hope that more games start doing that. Let's see. Moving on. There's been a rumor for a very long time, a couple of years ago, a leaked Harry Potter game was shown that was like a cell phone video that showed a trailer for what looks like a very obvious Harry Potter game. And it's been rumored that it's in development for quite a while. Avalanche is the studio that's working on this. This is a little confusing because Avalanche you may think of as the people that make Just Cause. That is Avalanche, but there are two different divisions in Avalanche. And apparently this is a different division that has been working on this game. So there are rumors that this game will be announced at E3, which is now canceled. But it sounds like Warner Brothers, who is the publisher of this game, will likely be making an announcement possibly in May or June. Not just for Harry Potter, but also for the new Batman game that everybody has been anticipating. And possibly some other games that we don't really know about. It's still pretty big leaks. None of this is confirmed by any means. But this game, the Harry Potter game, looked unbelievable. It looked really, really interesting. You were able to create your own character. It really looks like a next-gen title. Looked really, really enticing. So I hope that this is true. I hope that this turns out to be true. I think this would be a really cool next-gen title. I would imagine this would be coming out maybe late this year, early next year. But we will just have to wait and see. Speaking of E3, as I said, it is officially canceled now. I'll read you guys the statement. After careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020, scheduled for June 9th through 11th in Los Angeles. The ESA statement reads, following increased and overwhelming concerns about the COVID-19 virus, we felt that it was the best way during an unprecedented global situation. We are very disappointed that we are unable to hold this event for our fans and supporters, but we know it's the right decision based on information we have today. Our team will be reaching out directly to exhibitors and attendees with information providing full refunds. That's good. It's really good that they're providing refunds. I hope that hotels and airlines will be maybe not offering refunds, but at least offering some kind of compensation, maybe allowing you to book later or use, I don't know, giving you points or something to use later. But yeah, so E3 is officially canceled. I think there's all kinds of stuff that we could talk about this. We could talk about just the future of E3 in general. For the past couple of years, E3 has kind of been just going down in terms of quality. Sony pulled out last year and then announced way before this that they would not be there. EA had a very just kind of mild presence at E3 last year. Microsoft had a presence, but I mean, they have a theater literally right next to the E3 conference, so it's like, they're going to do it either way. So I don't know, it's interesting because this is just an interesting time that we live in where, Nintendo Direct, the Sony State of Plays are happening. And as much as I hate it, there's really just no reason to do a live press conference anymore, because you always run the risk of a demo failing, or someone's just saying something wrong, or just freezing on stage, or just getting bad press. And that sucks, because that's fun to watch. It's always so fun to just come together during that time and watch all of the press conferences and just read through all of the news and talk about it all. But sadly, it is officially canceled. And, I think that companies could see that they don't really need E3. They're still going to do their announcements. I hope that this will maybe give somebody like Jeff Keighley. I don't know if he would do this. I don't know if there's enough time to do this, to organize this. I mean, maybe the ESA can organize this, but maybe they can do some kind of an online gathering, to at least schedule all of these things like back to back, so that it's not so spread out. But I worry that all of the companies are just going to be like, we don't need E3. We don't need these guys. We're just going to, make our own videos, make our own trailers, make our own announcements, put it out on YouTube, and just let people watch it. And that may very well be what happens. I like I said, I hope that somebody can organize kind of a 2 or 3 day event where all of this kind of happens at one time. But it's still yet to be seen. This is still very early into this, and we'll just have to see where it goes. Either way, I am still very excited about the announcements that we're going to get. I do expect that we'll be getting some big announcements. We still have, a console to announce, the PS5. We still need to hear a lot about that. We still need to hear a lot about the new Xbox. I mean, it's just it's weird in how they're revealing information, Microsoft. They're just kind of trickling out this very small bits of information. And so they have to, at some point, have an official press conference, even if it's just a live video, or not even a live video, but just like a pre-recorded video. I mean, we have to figure out how much these things cost. We need to know when they're going to release. And I mean, I get now that, with the situation with the coronavirus, it's very possible that, we may be looking at delays on these things. We may be looking at shortages on parts and things like that. So it's a very, very strange time. And we just have to keep waiting to see what's going to happen. Welcome in, Basically Dad, aka Minish. Minish says, I think E3 needs a new focus. Like, instead of big showcases, they could do limited merch, exclusive demos like they did with Silksong, and just make it more hands-on with more candid streaming of the games and little events that go on. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What I would really like is an E3 digital ticket of some kind. I would be willing to pay, a certain amount of money. I don't know how much, but I would be willing to pay a certain amount to get access to demos. Let's go back to last year at the Game Awards. They organized something really interesting. They called it the Game Awards Digital Ticket, I believe, that allowed you to, for 48 hours, download, it was something like 12 indie games that were just demos. And they did that on Steam. And I think they could absolutely do something like that again with all the new games. And, of course, the consoles could do this as well. Much easier than on PC. There's a big risk of doing this on PC because, people are going to get access to those files, and then they can data mine them. They can probably figure out ways to crack them and allow them to keep playing past the timer and that kind of stuff. But I think that's what I would prefer they do, is some kind of a digital tickets to where maybe you pay $25, $50, and you get access to all of the demos for a week or something like that. But like I said, we're still very early into all of this, and a lot is probably going to come out about that in the near future. Okay, more rumors. I thought that this was quite interesting. Sources say PlayStation backs Silent Hill series reboot and Silent Hills revival. I find this to be not very likely, but I mean, again, it is still very big rumors. Because to my knowledge, Konami still holds the rights to Silent Hill. But it would be really, really, really cool if we could get a reboot of the Silent Hill franchise. I know a lot of people really, really loved Silent Hill. I never played them, but I do want to play them at some point. I know Silent Hill 2 is some people's favorite horror game of all time. Of course, we had Silent Hills, aka PT, that was being worked on right before Konami's mess, and was being developed by Kojima. So yeah, I hope that more comes out of that. I feel like it still just could be a very big rumor, but we will just have to see. That is pretty much it for the news. If you guys have any questions or anything, or any other topics you'd like to talk about, let me know. The only other thing that I have, just a nice little story to end with. Reggie Fils-Aimé, the former U.S. president of Nintendo, he has been appointed to the GameStop board of directors. I thought that was interesting. Not really much known about that. I mean, board of directors, being on a board can mean a lot of different things. He's probably just like more in an advisory type role. But everyone loves Reggie. I think he's a really cool guy. I hope that GameStop can hang in there. GameStop has not been doing well for a very long time. Everyone loves to hate on them, but I think it's cool to have an actual physical game store. I hope that they can change their image. I hope they can do something to come back and not go out of business, because that's the direction they are headed. Let's see. Minish asks, did you play Ori 2? I did not. Minish, did you? I want to. I want to at least check it out. I don't know if I will really be into it, but I was talking about this a little earlier when I was talking about Ori. I definitely want to try it out, but those games are not really my kind of games, or I don't know. I've had trouble kind of getting into them. Okay, so that's what I heard. Minish is saying that Ori 2 was heavily inspired by Hollow Knight. It's inspired by Hollow Knight in what way? I tell you what, guys, I'm going to go ahead and kind of officially wrap up this podcast, and then we can talk just a little bit more if you guys want to. But thank you guys again. If anybody came in late, I'll just kind of mention again what we are doing, and just kind of the situation with Squash. Squash is going to be kind of taking a little bit more distant role in the podcast. He still wants to be here when he can, but he has a lot of things going on in life. And so we're going to have him on whenever he can. But in the future, I want to try and get more people joining us for, guests, possibly even have like a rotation of guests coming out. But yeah, just keep an eye out for Discord. I want to keep you guys updated with everything and do my best to grow this channel and the podcast. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the podcast. Thank you all for being here today, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everyone. All right, guys, we can keep chatting just a little bit. Then I'm going to send you guys over to someone else. Fast and the Furious delayed. I know there's been a lot of movies delayed, right, French? We have to wait a full year to see the world's greatest rappers, Ludacris and John Cena, in the same movie. I haven't watched the Fast and the Furious movie in a long time. You have a sword full of bugs, charms, Metroidvania bosses, all the things. You didn't care for Ori 1, but 100%ed Ori 2. Wait, wait, what? You've already finished Minish? How long is it? It just came out like yesterday, didn't it? How big is the game? I could actually I haven't downloaded it. I could try it out on stream though. $15 gigs. I'm gonna try and download this. This may kind of mess up the stream a little bit. Oh, guys, you're not gonna believe this. I have gigabit internet that I'm getting next week. I'm so excited. Hopefully, if all goes well. AT&T finally came into our area with fiber, and they have an incredible deal going on right now. It's $50 a month, and they waive the installation charges and the equipment fees. So I was like, this is a no-brainer. I'm paying $60 right now for 200 down and 10 up, and I'm going to be paying $50 for 1,000 down and 1,000 up. So I'm like, yes, please. Yeah, so I'm downloading this right now. If you guys want to hang around, I will check this out on stream. It shouldn't take too long to download this. We're already at 10%. It is a big upgrade. I'm very, very excited. Hopefully everything goes well. I don't know what's involved. I don't know if there's like I feel like this is almost too good to be true. I was like, am I like on some kind of a fake website or something? Because I mean, normally it's not that expensive. I think it's like $90 a month for gigabit internet. But then I saw that they were coming out with a promotion for $50 for an entire year. You know, $50 a month for a year. I mean, I'm sure it'll go up after that, but at that point, I'll probably just either switch back to Spectrum, Time Warner, whatever they are, or maybe see if they have another deal or something. Yeah, I mean, I know it'll go up after the promo, but we'll just see what happens. I tell you what I'm gonna do, guys. I think I'm gonna take a little break and let this download. I don't think it should take more than. I mean, we're already at 20%, so it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, I would think. And then if you guys want to hang around and watch me play a little bit of this, I'll probably just stream maybe like an hour or so, just to check it out. Because I did want to check it out, and I actually thought about downloading it before to do that. But yeah, I don't know. Just didn't think about it. Minish, how's everyone doing in your neck of the woods? Are the schools all closed? All of the schools here in Kentucky have closed for, I think, about a month, like April 10th or 16th or something like that. Pretty wild time that we're living in. Let me post in Discord that we're going to switch over and do some Ori. Schools are just going on spring break. We are supposed to go back Monday, but they closed an extra week. County's being more proactive than the city, but they'll catch up. Yeah, Minish is in Texas. What was I gonna say? Yeah, that's what the universities are doing, Minish. They're going on spring break this next week, but they're just having an extended spring break that I think is going like an extra week or something like that. But all of the K through 12 schools here in Kentucky, it came down from I guess our governor that they were going to take them or shut them all down for a month. Yeah, it varies state by state, Koala. Like some states are just statewide shutting everything down. Some states are doing it county by county, like region by region. Um, so yeah, it just varies. All right, I'm going to take a short break, guys. I will be right back, and we'll play a little bit of Ori. Whoops. Okay. Let's see. Thank you, Minish. Almost there. Might need another light for that. We'll see. I played maybe an hour of it, Minish. I know the basic story of it, I guess. It's so sad, though. Is this one going to be really sad? I'm assuming I want to play this with a controller, probably, right? All right, here we go. Is this loading? Oh, he's going faster. What is happening? There we go. Okay, that's good. Moon Studios. What's that? Getting those beeps? Are you talking about that noise that just happened? I don't know what that was. Motion blur. Yeah, I heard that too, French. I don't know what it was. You're not still hearing it, are you? We'll leave motion blur on for now. Empty slots. I heard there were some issues with the game. How is the audio? Maybe a little loud? That looks pretty good, actually. Music is loud, okay. Let's see. Alright, let's see how that is. Easy mode, normal mode, hard mode. What did you play on, Minish? Normal? Let's go normal. I'm a normal kind of guy. It's pretty. Interesting you can't jump here. Oh, you can't even fall off. I guess that's why. Swallow's Nest. How is the audio? Audio. We shall always remember the day. Audio's good, sounds good. Okay. Oh, that looks comfy. Man, it's such a beautiful game, isn't it? Ooh, weird audio again. When new life came to nibble. Aww. It's an owl. Dang it, I swear this better not make me sad again. Oh no, I don't like where this is going. Something terrible's gonna happen. It's gonna be just like the first game. Wake up. You don't know, Koala. The first game is so sad. Or maybe you do, I don't know, maybe you've seen it. Wait, can I go up here? Guess not. It's true. Birdie's got to get him some worms. Or her. It's a her, isn't it? I don't know if I can deal with these games, man. Can we fix her wing? You get. But she's sad. I'm serious. The first game, like I could not do it. I want to do it at some point because I hope it has a happy ending. But, or even if it doesn't have a happy ending, I want to know what happens. But I was just so sad, so heartbroken at the beginning of the first game. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Wait. Did I miss something? Oh, got it. That audio. What did that say? Her mother's final gift? Did you have that audio glitch? Finish. Whoops. Kuro's Feather. Gained a new ability. While airborne, hold right trigger to glide freely or ride the wind's currents. Oh, that's cool. Woo. How's that gonna work? Let's just duct tape it to her. Oh. That's cool. Oh, I bet I was supposed to go up there, wasn't I? Uh-oh. Yay! Audio glitch is really weird. It very well could be my setup, because I'm using a lot of audio type things, using virtual audio cables. Koala, you want a tree that is also a waterfall? Water Marsh. Hold on. Go back the other way. You found a life orb. Collect these to restore Ori's life. Okay. A small spirit light container. Spirit light can be traded to friendly creatures for various items and upgrades. Interesting. Ooh, is that something up there? Oh no! Hold down and press A to fall through platforms. Oh. What in the world? What is that, Koala? How did they even do that? How about it has a beard? Hold on, I have to take a screenshot of this for Malt. A lepbot? Lepbot? You were doing that earlier. It wasn't showing up on in Streamlabs chatbot. I just saw it on the stream preview. That's funny. Okay, I do have a map. That's good. Bonfire? Oh. Oh! We traded. Okay. Okay, I guess I'm missing something there. That's so cool. That looks like a spiky plant. Oh, yep. I shouldn't have hit that. Oh, hello. Are you friendly?
Ayotangelo? Hujik. Toran. Matan? Nugsam. Onog mira. Yotona nuj. Narakutin. Jinshelo tush atan. Oh, Ikes. Never. Isoke nanush. Ah, mira.
Quests. Find the missing key. Find the keystone. Okay.
Ayotangelo.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wait, what? What happened? I don't really know how you're supposed to get past those things. Well, that was quick. Oh, shoot! Wait, where is my health? Is it the green things? Game autosaves, huge improvement. The green orbs, okay. Uh-oh. Hello. You don't look friendly. Do I not have any kind of a dodge? I guess just jump, huh? Oh shoot, I keep hitting B to dodge. Wow. Wow. Okay. Almost. Maybe we'll get a dodge ability. Gracious, that audio. Oh, that's gonna put my fire out, I bet. Wait, can I get... Oh, I can't get back up there, huh? Yep, I put my fire out. Jump on blue moss climb. Okay. I don't have a weapon. The keystone. Man, I gotta figure out what that audio glitch is. Whoops. Hello, Mr. Talk.
Oh, yo don nanush. Oh, mira. Oh, nog mira. Eza ujik. One. Oh, nog. Ani nugsam.
Thank you.
Cielo tu shatan.
Ooh, look at that. That's cool. I'm gonna assume we can't swim. Oh, we can. Oh, we hold our breath. Okay. Hi. You don't seem very nice. What? What? I don't have any kind of a weapon. Did I miss something? Okay. Ouch. Oh! No way. Are you serious? Minish, I'm not missing. Is there a dodge? I'm not missing a dodge button, am I? I feel like I'm missing something. There's no dodge? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I'm going to be good enough for this. This seems impossible. Alright, there must be something I'm missing here. How do I push it back? Okay, I don't understand. I guess I'm starting to get the hang of it. This seems like a really... I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing something right. I feel like I shouldn't be dying this much. Maybe I'm being too aggressive? like there should be a dodge. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. Wait, did I just skip it? Or did it just reload me? Oh, that was weird. Okay. Did you have this much trouble, Minish? I feel like I'm really bad at video games sometimes. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Like, I'm running as fast as I can. And I feel like he keeps killing me. What is happening? I don't really understand this fight. Like, how am I supposed to dodge this? Can I get on the other side of him? Can I lower the difficulty? Oh my goodness. I don't understand. I don't understand why he kills me so much right there at the beginning. It's like I'm literally doing nothing but just holding the left stick over to the right as much as I can and jumping. I don't understand. What are you supposed to do when he gets over there and, like, blocks you in that corner? It just seems impossible not to get hit. Hit him 3 times at once. I only got him 2. 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Nope, that doesn't stagger him after 3. Goodness, finally. I didn't like that. I don't understand the fight. I hate a fight when I just a boss fight that I just don't understand. I mean, I guess I just wasn't being aggressive enough. That was not a very good tutorial fight to me, though. One of the problems with that, I think, is that I assumed that he had a full health bar, and so I had to, you know, kill him and take the health bar all the way down. So I was trying to be much more conservative and save my health because I didn't realize that I only had to get his health halfway down. But yeah, see, if I had known that I only had to do half of his health... Oh, yeah, I don't have... Hold on, let me turn this light on. Yeah, if I had known that I only had to do half... or damage half of his health, I would have been a lot more aggressive. That's it, Minish. This game is terrible. 0 out of 10. Secrets. Oh my goodness, game. Why do you do that? Do you get a dodge? I really feel like there should have been a dodge. Oops. A roll, but not a true dodge. Okay. Do you get a audio fix? Title drop. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, it's not as sad as the first one. Man, the first one just did me in. Oh no, Koala. We may have spoken too soon. Aww. Gained a new ability. Hold left trigger to assign it to X, Y, or B and unleash a combo attack. Let's put it on B. At close range with a blade... Oh, attack close range with blade light. You think those are the will of the wisps? Maybe so. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Actually, can I put that on X? I thought that was going to be like just a special attack. It's officially our sword. Okay. Yeah, that feels much better. Ouch. Yeah, we may be going down to easy difficulty. It has a 50... Oh, gracious. I thought that said 57 hit combo. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not the best person to judge. Come on, Hal, we can do this. I'm not the best person to judge platformers because, as you can see, I am really, really bad at these. There's a reason that I did not stream Hollow Knight. I don't know why. I'm just so bad at platformers. I guess it's just because I just didn't grow up playing them, you know? I never played Mario and those kind of games. I think if I do play this, I'm definitely going to play it on easy. Because I can already tell, I feel like I'm going to get really, really frustrated. Easy. Magnet. You've gained a new spirit shard. Orbs float to Ori from further away. Press that to equip. Oh, this is very Hollow Knight, isn't it? Whoops. Have you seen any of Hollow Knight, Koala? Hollow Knight's so good. It's really, really hard, though. Oh, you watched when Foster was playing? He played Ori, the first Ori too, I think. Okay. It doesn't look like there's a way to lower the difficulty, unfortunately. Oh, wait. Oh no, difficulty. And that's too bad. I think what I'll do is I'll probably restart this and play on the easy difficulty. Although I hope it's not too easy. Man, I really wish games would let you change the difficulty in the middle of the game. Or I don't know, maybe I'll continue with this. But I think we'll call it there. I feel like that was a good little... maybe not the best representation of what this game is like. But it gave me a feel for it at least. Oh, you did his death counter for a while? Interesting. Let's see. I tell you what, let's raid. Oh wow, Luckless is playing this. Luckless Lovelocks. Let's go give him a raid. He's playing this game, and he's playing on hard. So if you guys want to see somebody that's probably actually good at the game, let's go watch him. I think I will, Minish. I think I'll just bump it down to easy. I still want to play the first one. Maybe I'll try the first one again. I know it's not as good, but I still would like to play it. Thank you guys for being here, though. Thank you so much. Thank you, Koala. Thank you, Minish. For anyone else who is lurking, I really appreciate it. I'll be back next Tuesday, and we will finish Horizon. If we don't finish it on Tuesday, we will absolutely finish it on Thursday. But I feel very confident that we will finish it next week. Thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Don't touch anybody. All right. Take care, guys. Bye, everyone.